4. And so he looks like he's moving pretty well. Yeah, he's defending and driving and doing all the basketball stuff that he normally does. So hopefully he keeps taking strides the next couple of days and let you know what's next.
You're resting games tonight?
Tomorrow I'm going to rest Andre and Draymond, and I would. That's planned, and then we'll see how tonight goes. If there's something happens tonight injury-wise, we could rest more. But those two guys will for sure rest tomorrow.
What kind of went into typically with Draymond, who doesn't rest as much as Andre?
The training staff. I met with them a few days ago. They said, told me Draymond could really use a night off. The numbers show it, and I talked to Draymond, and he admits it too. So yeah, probably be good. So that's what we're gonna do.
Talk about Livingston's changing, the rotation a little bit the other night with him and how much he's driving. How do you now adjust when Kevin does come back on the weekend potentially with some of these guys who are, getting key?
Yeah, I mean it's a good question, and we have to figure that out. We talked about it as a staff a little bit yesterday. I mentioned I'm going to start Kevin. Good chance. We're just playing in short bursts, and then we've got to figure out the rotation around him. And I kind of like what we have going right now in terms of when guys are coming in. So there's a chance we could try to keep the rotation as similar to that as possible. But it's always going to be a little different, and so you have to just adapt and adjust, and we'll go from there.
When you say that numbers show it with Draymond, like point per game, that type of stuff for like catapult tracking numbers?
Yeah, all the numbers that the training staff has access to, the cameras in the arenas that can track the load and the distance, and then the other stuff that shows fatigue, and then our staff basically asks our players every day to rate themselves, how they're feeling on a scale that they use, and yeah, it's pretty obvious. Draymond is a little worn down right now, so a night off makes sense.
Streak since you rested the guys in San Antonio, what's been the biggest change for you that's led to these results?
Well, I think the defensive effort has been the biggest thing. I think the players look fresh. It helped to get home off that trip, sleep in our own beds for the week. Schedule kind of turned in our favor, and so I think guys got their legs underneath them, and the defensive effort as a result improved. When the defense gets better, generally that affects the offense. You get more run-outs and easy baskets. Make a couple easy baskets, the three-point shot is more likely to go in because you got more confidence. And just gain momentum that way. But defense is always the best way to turn your fortunes around, and I think that's been the biggest factor.
Steve, since Durant's been out, he played more 4. Livingston played some 3. Would you want to keep those guys maybe in those slots, or can you with Durant back? What's the kind of preference there?
Well, the good thing is they're all just basketball players, really. I mean, Andre, comes in for Draymond at the 4 in the first quarter, and then he's playing point guard with Ian Clark and Clay to start the second quarter. Kevin can play the 3 or the 4. Sean plays any position. So it's really easy to plug guys in. We don't have a roster that's sort of square peg round hole. We've got a lot of guys who can fit into a lot of different positions, and so we will try to determine what's best and where guys have been having success. I'll have Sammy run a lot of numbers and lineups and comparative lineups. To earlier in the year when KD was playing, who he was playing well with, all that stuff. We'll look at all that and then kind of probably try to keep doing what we're doing right now as close to that as possible. And then like I said, we'll go from there.
Some of the guys said JaVale does work on a lot of three-point shooting in practice, he said this morning that he takes a lot of shots on the practice floor he would never do in a game. How much do you need those guys shooting in practice long threes once in a while in case it comes up at some point? And I know that, aside from what happened the other night.
Right. I kind of leave guys alone on their routine, especially older guys. You know, if Steph Curry practices a shot from the hallway every night, it makes him happy. So that's all that matters. But if you know, if JaVale practices his threes, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like you said, he may end up having to shoot one once in a while. But the biggest thing with guys is just to feel comfortable with their game day routine, and they all kind of develop these rituals. So whatever they want to do, they all work with individual coaches and to kind of establish some of these routines. And I kind of leave them alone on all that.
Great.